Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Adam Gase's plan for the offense in 2020. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast. New episodes drop every Monday. Now, one more thing, if you follow me on social media, you probably saw my outtake video already, but I wanted to talk about Manscaped. We are working with them for the next month or so you'll see me talking about Manscaped a little bit. The Lawnmower 3.0 is definitely something you're going to want to get if you're a guy and have to do some manscaping. Listen, it's something everyone has to do. Manscaped has skin-safe technology so you won't cut yourself while shaving. Listen, the last thing anyone wants is an accident down there when they are doing their manscaping, so definitely check it out. Promo code JETS20 gets you 20% off and free shipping. Check the link in the description. Okay, so Adam Gase pretty much came out and said that he misused Le'Veon Bell last year, which, I mean, kudos to him for completely admitting it. It's not something that Adam Gase does very often, admitting his mistakes, but I was really happy to see that. And, I mean, unfortunately, Adam Gase in the offseason is usually better than Adam Gase coaching. He usually says the right things in press conferences and stuff like that and gives football answers. This was a good football answer for sure, but this is essentially what he said. To paraphrase, he said he gave him too many carries and was trying to force feed him the ball early on, and it wasn't working, and teams really figured out what they were trying to do, especially in the weeks where they didn't have Sam Darnold. It was pretty rough. They were putting 9-10 guys in the box. It was insane. So in the first 4 weeks of the year, Le'Veon had 23, 31, 22, and 22 touches for an average of 25 touches per game. The final 4 weeks of the year went down a little bit, 14, 23, 29, 21 for an average of 22 touches. Obviously 3 touches per game difference towards the end of the year. Obviously, I would tend to agree with him. I think that the way he utilized him was what he did wrong, not necessarily the amount of touches. Like, I would still want to see 20 plus touches a game for Le'Veon Bell in both the rushing attack and the passing attack. I would just not run him into an awful offensive line. I would try to get him out in space to create. That's when Le'Veon Bell is at his best. When he's out in the open making guys miss, he should be able to do that with an improved offensive line. This year, they have 4 new starters there. And if you could potentially line him up as a wide receiver more, get him involved in the screen game, that would make A, life easier for Sam Darnold, and B, for the Jets offense in general, just, getting more going in the hands of Le'Veon Bell, who is probably the best playmaker on this team. Even after a down year last year, he's the best player the Jets have on offense right now. Gase came out and said that a goal of his is to get the ball in Le'Veon Bell's hands, which, again, good thing. Now, that doesn't mean force feeding him into the A gap a million times a game. It should be doing what Le'Veon Bell is best at, getting him in space, whether that is running the ball or setting up easy completions for him, and getting Sam Darnold's completion percentage up. It's an easier way to get the ball moving, because one of the things the Jets struggled with last year, and really pretty much every single Adam Gase team struggles with this, is the amount of plays that they run. They were averaging about 50 to 55 plays a game. He wants to get that number up to 65 or 70. Obviously, that's a little bit of a step forward in the right direction there. It's something that I was critical of Adam Gase for, and a lot of people have been talking about it being one of Adam Gase's flaws is his offenses don't run enough plays. They're not on the field enough. So it would be moving the tempo forward, which is definitely something that's a good thing. The league is going more fast-paced. The Jets have a lot more speed when you look at Denzel Mims, Brashad Perryman, Chris Herndon, even at the tight end position, is quick for a tight end, and Le'Veon Bell, of course, who is a major, major role in that. Yes, I am all for getting the tempo moving forward. Faster-paced offense, more explosive plays. Yes, please, better offense. Yesterday, he also said that he could see utilizing Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore on the field at the same time. This is something I really wanted to see in 2019. I was a big fan of the Jets running back room, but they really didn't perform all that well on the field. Last year, they had Bilal Powell, Ty Montgomery, and Le'Veon Bell. That's 3 running backs who are capable receiving and rushing the ball. They could have did a lot of creative things, but they didn't. They rarely had two of them on the field. I would have put all 3 of them on the field, had Bilal and Ty Montgomery in the backfield and Le'Veon lined up in the slot. That would have helped mitigate for the loss of Chris Herndon and for not having many skilled wide receivers out there with all due respect to Robbie Anderson. After that, Jamison Crowder in the slot salad. But Demaryius Thomas was basically a corpse at the end of last year. The goal here is to get Sam Darnold to take a step forward. Having an up-tempo offense, having Le'Veon Bell running at full force and being the best version of himself makes that so much easier. We want to make sure in year 3 that Sam's the guy. I believe it. I know a lot of other Jets fans believe it. But if you want the statistics to go up, get Le'Veon Bell the ball in space. Seems to make a lot of sense. He briefly talked about Denzel Mims, said that he was improving. I think he's going to be a major factor in the red zone for the New York Jets this year. Yes, maybe he doesn't put up a ton of receiving yards in year 1. To expect him to put up 800 plus receiving yards might be a little bit on the rich side in year 1. Down the line, obviously, a different story, and especially a year like this where there's really not much of a mini camp and training camp and no preseason games either. You're getting kind of thrown right into the fire. Chris Herndon coming back, if he's healthy, should also be a major key to this offense. Sam and Chris Herndon had a major connection at the end of the year in their rookie years in 2018. He had, I think, like 455 yards in the last 11 weeks. Like 90% of his receiving yards came in the final 11 weeks, and they were really good together. And I'm hoping to see more than just one game. Getting 16 games of Sam Darnold, Chris Herndon, Le'Veon Bell together would be good for the Jets offense. So things going in the right direction. I think the offense will be a little bit better. One, because personnel and the offensive line is going to be such a key. It was awful last year. Bottom 2 offensive line in the league. I'd make the case that it was the worst, and it shouldn't be the worst. I'm going to say their offensive line right now is probably about the 20th mark, which still needs some work. I think that the right side scares me a little bit in George Fant, who's the likely starter, and Greg Van Roten should be the starter over there, so he's okay, but ultimately here it's an improved unit, which should make life so much easier for Adam Gase and the offense. So I'm excited to see it. Let me know what you think about Gase's plan down in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.